Join Dalton and Jacob as they discuss the ever-changing world of trading card games. TCG Buzz starts now.
What's up, Buzz Squad? It's your boy Dalton, back at it again for try number 4.
It feels like that. Oof.
Big oofs. So, we're going to be trying this whole Jacob ranting on the BCS Worlds and how it was live streamed, I guess, basically. Or Jacob can elaborate more on that. But why we couldn't really do it in completeness yesterday was our internet was complete crap.
Yeah, the story I got was due to some weather we had. Our internet went down real bad, so I'm sorry about that, guys. But you know, we live in Wisconsin, so sometimes
I find that funny. It didn't really get bad until like late last night. Like it was fine while the stream was going, in my opinion. But internet providers, right?
Thanks, Spectrum. So yeah, if you don't know, we tried doing this live stream yesterday, and it did not work, and I felt pretty crappy about that. It sucked. I was on a roll. I was spitting some fire out there for you guys, and oof, it broke.
It broke.
This is why I drink.
Explains a lot.
So no, seriously, our live stream yesterday was kind of a big failure, and we're retrying it today. I do see the irony in the fact that a live stream talking about how bad a live stream was a complete disaster, right?
I wouldn't say complete disaster. It was just more annoying and tedious, and Darian should shut up, but that's besides the point.
Oof. Thanks for the support, man.
Right. You were showing them the fancy transition.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Ooh, that fade, though.
Yeah, so before I get into this, it's essentially going to be me ranting about BCS again. I'm sorry if you guys did watch yesterday's. There will be a lot of repeat, but I want to get it all in one place where it's not insufferable to listen to. I mean, a little less insufferable to listen to, okay?
Yeah, you still got to deal with Jacob's face, and if you are smart and not watching his face, not listening to his voice.
Oof. See what I put up with, guys. So I do apologize if there's a lot of repeats in here from last time. Dalton's going to be here as well, occasionally giving his commentary. Mostly he's going to be not paying attention and messing around with the deck on the table. And then I'm going to say, what do you think about that? And he goes, huh?
Actually, I'm up in chat right now.
Oh, you're up in chat right now? Wait, hang on. Put your screen up. Why do you not have dark mode on?
It's too much on my phone, man. I got the blue light filter. It's all good. All good.
Hashtag dark mode best.
Too much work.
Dalton's going to be reading chat, hanging out with you guys there. I'm not going to be looking at it too much unless, you know, the ADD gets the best of me and I'm like, ooh. That being said, we do have super chat enabled. So if you guys would like to really get your voice heard and you'd like to support us to help us to fund potentially going to regionals, maybe Atlanta, that's our goal right now. We're not quite there. Not close yet, but we're trying. So if you'd like to support us, you can, you know, give us a super chat, and that'll help us, you know, fund things. That's good.
Fun things, man. Fun things.
Yeah, and you know, you can leave a message with it, and Dalton will read it out. Right, Dalton?
I'll do my best.
You'll do your best. Someone send him a super chat with just a really big, obnoxious word.
Watch them try this and watch it be a word that I know.
All right, so I think it's time. I've ranted enough. Sorry, guys, if you aren't interested.
Oh, we're done already?
And what? Oh.
I'm joking.
Oh. You really threw me off there. We've ranted enough in this intro-y stuff right now, so I'm going to get into the actual discussion part of this. And I'm officially saying goodbye to the chat. Goodbye, chat. It's time to get into my notes, and I'm going to have Dalton lead us into it by telling us what he saw of the event.
So, I saw the Buddyfight finals. It's one match in its entirety. A misplay. A lacking in music. Yeah, that's about it. It's not very exciting.
You are correct. So what I did when this happened, this was over the weekend, if you don't know. Bushiroad streamed their BCS World Finals, their Bushiroad Championship Series Finals. So the big top dog for Buddyfight and Vanguard and Weiss Schwarz, all that stuff. They were all streamed, and I'm sorry to say they were a bit of a disaster. There were some good parts, and I will be complimenting them on a couple of things, but there were some definite negatives as well. That's really sucks. The first thing I'd like to get into is just saying it's a really good thing that we have them at all. Regardless of quality, I'm glad to see Bushiroad putting an effort into streaming their finals and all that stuff. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's nice to see that they're at least trying to live stream and be... Oh, what's the word? Forget about what I'm trying to say for the word, but I guess being... No, I'm going to keep trying to think of a word and it's not going to come. So
I don't even know what word. Sometimes, you bounce off me and I'm like, oh, you're thinking this word. I have no idea what he's trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. Stopped me.
Yeah, so the event was rough. And I'd first like to say it was rough for the people watching, but it was especially rough for the people who went to Tokyo, went to Japan, got qualified for these events. I spoke to several people who participate in these events, several who are acquaintances of mine through Buddyfight, and even one person from Weiss Schwarz. Yeah, and the overall consensus from them was not happy.
Oof.
Yeah, and that sucks. I have never gone to to a world championship for any of the Bushiroad card games. Guess I just scrub out too much, right?
You scrub too hard. People don't want to find you.
But if I went to a big event like that and I worked as hard as these people have to get there and represent myself and my team and my friends and my city and everything else you can represent, my store for some of them, and I got shafted, I'd be pretty upset. But let's talk about the actual stream. Why did it go wrong? What happened, essentially? And to be clear, not everything was bad. There were a couple good things, and I will hit on them. Intermixed in this. The order we're going to be going through is the order I have my notes down here. I'm going to occasionally be looking down at them. And those were just off the top of my head notes. What I did was, right as the event was happening, I was writing down everything I thought about. And we're going to kind of go in that order. So with that, the first thing I'd like to complain about as a privileged white person complaining about a card game that you spend money on is how hard it was to even know about the live stream. I'd like to say I'm pretty plugged into the things that Bushiroad does. I follow him on Twitter. I follow other Facebook pages. I'm in tons of groups. I would not have known that this live stream was going on this past weekend, if it were not for the fact that someone posted it in our Discord group, the TCG Buzz's Discord. Did you know this was going on this weekend?
No. Mm-mm.
And we are two people who do this all the time and talk about card games and stay up to date on all this stuff, and we didn't know. I'm sure some people will be laughing at me for that, saying, oh, well, I knew. But I think a lot of people weren't aware of it. Particularly, I noticed that they didn't do anything on the official YouTube channels for these card games, which are, in my experience, the primary point of reference for a lot of fans of these card games. They did not do anything to encourage people to go check the live stream out. That is a problem. I know there are some people who gladly would have loved to watch it, but didn't get the chance to watch it live because they simply didn't know what was going on, right?
Right.
In fact, in our local play group, I talked about my feelings on this and just said in a group chat, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to do an episode on this, on Wednesday, I guess, and share my feelings. And they're like, wait, what happened this weekend?
Things happen, Mike.
Yeah, so I think they could have done a better job at communicating. And that's going to be the one point I'm going to keep hitting back. Communication in this case, and in every case pretty much with Bushiroad, is not a strong suit. Next, I'd like to say that even with the fact that, Bushiroad, in my opinion, did a crap job at sharing their event, and they struggled in some parts, and there were problems with the stream, and it generally made people mad. There were still a ton of people who watched it. That's a good sign. It shows that people are interested and want to see competitive play for their favorite card games, and they want to see the people who are well-known in their communities play their favorite card game. I was in the live stream, logged in as TCG Buzz, commenting and memeing in the chat for the first hour or so, hour and a half, and then I had adult things to go do. But, I mean, even at that point, we're averaging, anywhere from 800 to 1,100 concurrent viewers at the same time. To me, someone who's, a mid-tier card game YouTuber, specifically for very niche card games, having 30, 40 people is amazing.
Fair.
So I was impressed by that. They got good numbers, and it made me just think, how much better could those numbers have been? Yeah. Now I'm going to awkwardly transition into talking about the actual live stream. Not the people watching, not anything like that. The actual visual aspects and auditory aspects of the live stream itself. The live stream began, and the first 45 minutes to an hour and a half, I don't have an exact time on it, were all advertisements. They were not ready to set up, and having a little bit of time before a live stream starts to set up your live stream is understandable. We here at TCG Buzz use a hold graphic at the start of our live streams. It usually lasts on screen for, on average, like 5 minutes. You'd say 5 minutes, yeah?
I don't know. Maybe the people know.
Usually about 5 minutes. It stays on the screen, and it says, hey, we're getting things ready. Hang in with us. This has 3 effects. Looking at this as someone who does live streams and has done live streams for years, and specifically card game live streams, I think we're in a unique spot to share information about that and why these types of things happen. It's an interesting outlook. So the reason you use something like that is because, one, you want to know if your live stream's functioning before you start. For example, in yesterday's horrid live stream, we had some struggles with the connection between us and our ISP. And the longer we used that hold the graphic on, the easier it'd be able to tell before we'd start ranting, right?
Right.
So I'd say that's a useful thing. I am not against using something like that. In fact, for just a quick moment, that's ours.
Woo!
Yeah, look at that. So much better than this screen. So that graphic is used on screen for just a little while, so we can know everything's going safe while finishing any actual setup we have here. And for us personally, we use that time to share our episodes and let people know, hey, we're live streaming. Here's the link to go click on it. Also, it lets people have time to flow in a little. There are plenty of times when we just say start a live stream where people would come in late, and that sucks, right? So giving a couple minutes to try and mitigate that a little, I think, is a good thing. That being said, I'm going to flip again to it. This is our hold graphic. It's a simple graphic, no sound, nothing like that. It's not the most interesting thing in the world, but it's not, ready? Wait for it, distracting. Bushiroad choose to fill that time with advertisements. You've probably seen their advertisements tons of times. If you've watched a single episode of Vanguard on YouTube or Buddyfight or anything like that, you've seen them. And I would not say Bushiroad's advertisements are awful, but they were absolutely, definitely, 100% not meant to be streamed for 45 minutes straight.
Or an hour, however long it was.
Yeah. It was bad. See, here's the problem. Bushiroad's advertisements, first of all, no one likes sitting through a bunch of ads. Like 1 or 2 ads, that's fine, right? You can put up with a couple ads, right, Dalton?
I don't know what you're talking about. I record my episodes of stuff and then fast forward through the ads.
So even some people can't even do that. But the problem is these ads are very repetitive. One, they only cycled through 10 different advertisements, 10 different 30-second ads. 2, a good majority of them were for Weiss Schwarz, which this isn't the Jacob hating Weiss Schwarz person coming out. I do hate Weiss Schwarz. I'm sorry, Weiss Schwarz players, but that's not the problem here. I don't mind seeing an occasional ad for Weiss Schwarz, but seeing the vast majority of the ads being the same Weiss Schwarz ads over and over again was like a hammer to my skull, frustrating. And, they kept using, Bushiroad keeps using the same voice actors for these, so you hear the same person over and over again. It sounds like a mild form of torture. I'm just being frank. It sounds like something they'd play at Guantanamo. And the worst part for me was the music. There's this specific orchestral piece that Bushiroad uses. I don't know the name of it. Typically for Weiss Schwarz ads, but they use it also for generic Bushiroad stuff. I don't know what it is specifically, but if you've heard it, you know what I'm talking about. And every single Weiss Schwarz ad uses it. Occasionally some other ads use it for Vanguard or whatnot. But it was played on repeat. The problem with that being I was sick of it within 5 minutes. And then they persisted to use it during all of the actual matches.
Oh.
You know the song I'm talking about, right?
No.
No? Not off the top of your head?
Nope.
Just chat? Ask chat.
Chat to you?
It was rough. Honestly, I would not have done that. I would have preferred a silent graphic. Honestly. You could, yes, there's the argument, well, you can just mute it, but I would be afraid to mute it and then go do other things because maybe I'd miss the actual start. One of the nice things about using a silent hold graphic is the person can have the volume up and then, go do other things for a couple minutes, and they can audibly hear when your episode's starting. The other thing with it being they could have used that time for something better. I'd be okay with a couple ads at the beginning, and they used a couple of ads intermediately between things while they're setting up between different rounds and stuff, and I was fine with that. I had no problem. But I couldn't help but feel that entire 50, 60-minute stretch at the beginning could have been utilized better. Particularly, Bushiroad took the time to bring on several great card game personalities into their live stream to provide commentary. For Vanguard, it was Different Fight and Card Protagonist. And there was, let me check his name. Kit from Burn 1 joined in for Weiss Schwarz, who, as someone who's not a Weiss Schwarz person, I had no idea who he was. All three did fantastic jobs. I thought all three were very entertaining. I thought Kit did a fantastic job for someone I had literally never heard before. I thought Different Fight provided a lot of depth and experience to the commentary. And I thought Card Protagonist points, although I would like to hear a little more of them, were sharp and good. I thought all three of them were, best in their class for commentary and easily could rival some of the best commentators for larger card games like Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! So great job in this selection for those people. Why not use them a little more? I'm sure it was exhausting for them talking over a bunch of matches for 10 hours, but why not do a pregame show? Dalton, you're a sports guy, right? Do you ever tune into pregame shows?
No.
Thanks for crushing my point, man. Okay, but you know what a pregame show is.
Yes, I've tuned into a few, but if it's not the Packers or the Bucks, I don't really care.
I think a pregame show would have been much needed for this event for 3 reasons. Reason number 1, not everyone plays every card game here, and instead of just skipping the parts of the live stream that maybe are about Weiss Schwarz when you don't play Weiss Schwarz, or about Vanguard Premium when you've not touched Vanguard for 2-3 years, could give those players an understanding of the base meta and the base interactions that are going on right now, so they can at least follow it somewhat and find some entertainment out of it. 2, it would have been great for introducing those people watching more to those characters, the characters of Card Protagonists and Different Fight. I think that would have been a good option. And 3, I think this is the most important part. It would have been a good opportunity for Bushiroad to squeeze in information about what the hell is going on. What is our timetable for this event? What is going to happen? All that. I think this was, again, communication, Bushiroad's biggest problem. A lot of people, even after the entire live stream was done, and they had points in it where, yes, things went wrong. We'll get to that. And Bushiroad did offer information. There was one point when they did the transition from Vanguard to Weiss Schwarz where they had the people, the cut to the commentators, and they mentioned what was going on. A lot of people missed that. I missed that. Most people missed that. It was missed by a lot of people. And if you go and look at the live stream and look at the comments, not the live chat, but the comments that were made after the fact, people are confused. You should not have people confused about your major big event, right?
Right. That's not. Everyone should know what's going on and how everything should be kind of planned out. And say somebody's only interested in, say, Weiss. It's like, oh, this is when Weiss is going to happen? All right. I won't really pay attention to anything else and then get tuned in for that, or yada, yada, yada. Jacob?
Sorry, I was checking my notes, guys. I need to catch up to myself because I went ahead of my notes knowing where I was going to go next. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. The big thing. The thing that caused the primary amount of controversy. The live stream they did not go according to plan. There were some problems. I'm still not quite sure what caused the problems, whether it be the longer than usual wait at the beginning, some problems with rulings and cheating in Vanguard, or whatever happened, or just Weiss Schwarz running long. Those are the 3 things I've heard. I'm not going to fact check any of those today. Yikes. So it ran long, and they hit a limit built into YouTube that does not allow you to live stream for more than 10 hours. As someone who has live streamed for 2+ years, I had no idea that even existed. Did you?
So wait, if we ever want to do that 24-hour live stream, we can't do that, can we?
No, apparently not. Maybe if people, give us some super chats, we'll do like 3 10-hour live streams in a row.
Or we go on Twitch, I don't know.
Or Twitch or something like that. If anyone knows a good solution to that, let us know. We've been considering doing a full 24-hour nightmare live stream. Oh boy. Things went wrong. Regardless of how they went wrong, they went wrong. And they realized about the 3/4 mark that they were not going to fit everything in. And this is the turning point for the live stream. This is where it goes from, well, there are a couple nitpicks like the, I don't know, the graphic they used that they placed over the matches being too big, causing the match feed to be a little too shrunk down on the screen, like this size instead of, this. That's all nitpicky stuff. That can be improved next time. But this was the primary problem. Because the time went long, there was some crunching. And matches got missed, and matches were not included in the original stream. I know there was some confusion with that. Some Vanguard stuff got skipped. I don't believe anything from Weiss was skipped. I'm not sure. I did not watch all.
Like I said, I couldn't tell you. I only watched the Buddy fight.
And then Buddyfight was the hardest hit of all.
Oof.
And we will get to that in just a moment. But the thing is, I can say honestly that Bushiroad tried. They tried to make the most of it. Did they succeed at making the most of it? No, they failed. I will give credit. I know that type of situation is hard. I mean, look at us. Yesterday, we had a major malfunction that screwed up everything, right? And we were bummed out, and it sucked, and we had to make some choices. Maybe, if you go back and look at it, maybe I made the wrong call in the beginning, right?
Maybe.
Where I said, well, let's try and keep going and see what happens. The important thing is, towards the end, I'm like, yeah, we got to cut it, but I'm going to communicate as best as I can to let you guys know that we're going to do this again, and we're going to work on fixing the problem. Now, whether or not that relates to what happened with Bushiroad, probably not. But Bushiroad had options. They could have just stopped the live stream. They could have kept going and then, live stream the other parts, which they kind of did. But there were problems with it. They did end up live streaming the finals for Buddyfight, right? Just the finals? Yeah.
Not even.
Half of the final match. It was a little rough. And particularly there was a insane drop in quality of that. You went from a live stream that had commentators over it, fantastic commentators, might I add, to fantastic sound design with not much distraction from crowds behind and good quality sound with no echoes or anything like that, with players playing on good quality mats with no distractions and with face cams to playing on a white card table.
Yeah.
We made better quality videos than that 3 years ago.
Oh, are you sure about that?
I would say yes. And that's really bad because, I go back and look at those videos we made 3 years ago, and I cringe so hard. Our videos sucked. Theirs suck worse, and they're a multi-million-dollar company. We are literally two guys, and Darian sometimes, and Bryce sometimes. But primarily, it's this and this. And we make better videos than that.
You're welcome.
That's not me trying to brag. That's not me trying to say we make good content. No, you can say we make shit content all day. But Bushiroad makes worse.
I don't know. We don't do any animations or anything like that, so
That's true.
They got us beat there.
Now, the thing with it is, yes, there are extenuating circumstances, but the quality of the match that was kind of streamed was not acceptable. And it was even worse. What happened to the Vanguard match that got cut? No one knows. And that leads me to the worst part of it, communication. They very, very poorly told people where they could find this and, when things would be uploaded and stuff like that. That's not good. All right. It really sucks what happened to the Buddyfight match at the end and kind of throughout the whole live stream. I think if we had no problems with time or anything like that, I would be able to meme a little about their ads at the beginning and meme about their music, and then we'd be done with it and would not be having this conversation. I would like to say that the Buddy Fight community has come through to fix a little bit of Bushi's mistakes. Shout outs to Buddy Jacoby for doing his own commentary over the match that was uploaded, since no commentary was included. I think that's a great idea and something that, he picked up Bushiroad's slack on. You agree?
Who picked Buddy Jacoby?
Yeah. That's a good thing. And you know what? I give him a big thumbs up for that. That's great. I would like to still see the actual commentator who is supposed to be commentating over this doing something for that. Maybe Bushi could work something out, in post, do something like that. But I don't see it likely. Now, I'm going to hit on something that I did not get to in the last stream. And that being the solution to all of this. That's right. I'm not coming at this just complaining, wah. I'm coming as a solutions man, an idea man. I have an idea for how to fix this so it never happens again. And we're not truncated so much. That way we can have a BCS like 2017 where we have matches and interviews and commentators getting to open packs and, people talking about how trash the meta is on Bushiroad's own stream. Go watch 2017's. It was great. But all of that got lost in 2018 because there was such a crunch for time. Right? So, Dalton, here's what I propose. I want your opinion on this because I haven't talked to you about this much. Mm-hmm. You ready? Split the stream in 3, please. Why are you doing all your games as one live stream?
Why? I don't know, man. It just seemed right. It's just how it would go. But if you ask me, it would have been better if they would have been done on all their respective YouTube channels, even though we did find out that Weiss doesn't have one.
Ooh, guess who's hitting the nail on the head? So here's my proposal. Yes, we found out Weiss Schwarz does not have its own YouTube channel. As non-Weiss Schwarz people, we did not know that. Please, next year, put Vanguard's live streams. You could split premium standard into 2, or I think you'd be okay with 1 on the Vanguard channel. Put Buddy Fights on the Buddy Fight channel. Put the Weiss Schwarz one on the Weiss Schwarz channel. Then what you need to do is live stream everything. Not just the, quick final match. I expect full top 8 everything for each in their individual live streams. And then with all that extra time, because even then that will only run, 3-ish hours per each, not nearly hitting the 10-hour live stream, even with problems that you can preempt this time. You can fill it with more content. You can fill it with talks, a pregame show for each with your commentators. You can fill it with, talking about the next booster set and opening some booster packs for the pre-release like you did in 2017. Interviews with the winners. All that kind of stuff can now be possible. And you know what? I think your numbers would actually be higher. Sure, scheduling might be an issue. Maybe you have some people who, are competing in both, so you have to run them separately. You can make it work. I think that would be a good solution. What do you think?
That's one solution. There's also Twitch, if that's a plausible area, so that if they want to keep it as one, if it would be easier for them to do type deal, and just kind of have it no time restriction like in YouTube. It might be a thing. Yeah, but there's probably a lot of things they'll learn from this, hopefully. They'll learn from this and then change it for next time. But who knows? Only time will tell.
I think the fundamental problem, I think, is Bushiroad did not realize how important this type of thing is. The actual event itself. Bushiroad assumed it was just, you need to show these matches because that's what you do. But showing this type of thing is really, really important. It encourages people to, get out there and maybe earn their right to go to Worlds. It, inspires people to be more like those members of the community they're seeing duke it out at highest tier level play. It tells them what's going on in their games and maybe encourages them to play one of the other card games they haven't yet. I think Bushiroad really dropped the ball fundamentally here by cutting all that extra stuff and not showing it. That kind of stuff keeps people invested. And I think I will, many times go back and watch Worlds 2017's live stream again because I think there are interesting things in it. Will I do that for 2018? No. And that sucks. And again, I'd like to bring up what this means for the people who played and the people who will play in the future at Worlds. If you're doing such a bad job that I literally just have to put out tiny feelers to people I know who went to Worlds and get literal books of rants back.
I'm going to derail you.
Yeah?
Jacoby asks, what kind of breaks are you thinking of?
Kind of what?
Breaks.
What do you mean?
Yes.
Breaks? Did I say something about breaks?
I don't remember. I was too focused on chat.
I don't know. I got ranting, so maybe elaborate your question a little bit, and I will happily answer it. But yeah, I talked to multiple people who participated in Worlds, and I'd send out little feelers, hey, how was Worlds? And I'd get books about how crappy it was back. That is not good for your games. One, those people might decide they don't want to try to go back again next year because it was not a good experience. Two, that kind of thing spreads. People are going to hear, oh, why practice for 60 hours to do well at your regionals when, it's just going to get you a crappy trip to Japan, which, sure, it's Japan, but they're going to screw up the matches anyways. What about all those people who played Buddy Fight and were expecting to, have their time on the camera, getting to show their skills and then didn't?
Ah, I see. So the activities and so forth, like the whole pre-gaming thing that you were talking about, like the pre-game shows and things like that, breaks in between to kind of give them that.
Anything. If you look, I'd recommend taking a look at some other card games live streams. They tend to do in-between round discussions, where they talk about, here's what's happened so far, here's what will happen, They sometimes do profiles on the characters in these matches. How many times have they showed up at Worlds, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I know in 2017's live stream, there was a sneak peek for a Vanguard set coming right out, and Bushiroad provided some hacks for the commentators in between rounds to open and talk about. That kind of stuff keeps people interested and gives variety instead of staring at a mat for 12 hours. And I think that's good stuff, and it shows that the game is bigger than just playing a card game,
Right. That makes sense. And I kind of agree with all that, too, just kind of having, like, a mini discussion in between rounds, kind of, to give the people to set up the next round some time and just kind of get the commentators talking more, kind of getting their outputs out there, and things to that nature. Even if you don't want to do like a sneak peek type thing, you could do a set that was recently released and kind of doing something like that, or even kind of giving a little profiling of like some of the people who are at the event, who have been there before maybe a few times, something like that.
One thing that I think, I'm sorry to people who aren't a fan of it, but Magic the Gathering does really well is it makes their they do a very good job at making their big events feel important and big and grandiose. And they make the people playing at those events feel like Magic the Gathering celebrities. We don't have that in our card games. The only reason you'd know who Austin Summers is because you've heard of him from other Buddy Fight players, not because Bushiroad told you anything about him. That sucks.
Right. That's true.
I think the fundamental problem here is twofold. One, I'm going to hit on that communication again. I'm sorry, but Bushiroad is literally the worst corporation I've ever seen when it comes to that. Two, they did a very poor job at making their world championships feel like they mattered. And that's what I'm going to end on.
Why do I feel like you're going to get us banned from any Bushiroad events?
Man, we are never getting a sponsorship ever from Bushiroad, are we? Like, of any type. They're going to be like, and here's our list. We have finally decided to start sending out boxes again to influencers in our community. Oh, TCG Buzz, they get nothing. No. And I don't care. I'm going to speak my mind about this stuff because I wouldn't do that if I didn't care. The only reason I'm sitting here ranting, literally for the third time about this in 2 days, is because I think they can do better. And not only do I think they can do better, I think them doing better matters. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
TED Talk. You know what? We're going to overlook that. But thanks for coming out, guys. Much thanks to you for joining us live. And if you're watching this after the fact, thanks for watching anyway. Thanks for dealing with Jacob and his rantiness. Make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell so you get them notifications so you don't miss out on certain topics like this where Jacob just wants to go off. Or when I decide to go off, whenever that may be. Who knows? Who knows? Anything else, Jacob?
Roxas is asking me in chat to insult the overlay. I did hate the overlay, but I think my hate for the overlay got pushed back a little bit because there were more important things to talk about. Thank you guys so much. I hope we can continue this discussion. More than, I think, any video we've ever done, this is a discussion, you know. I want to continue this. We have the comments here on this. Please leave us a comment. Even if you're hanging out with us in the live stream, I'd love to respond to all your comments. It's like the thing that I do all the time, and it's like an addictive thing at this point. I do it all the time. But also, join our Discord if you haven't already, and we've got our Buddyfight and Vanguard chats. I'd love to talk more about Worlds. I specifically did not talk about the actual outcomes of matches because that was not important to me today. But I'd love to talk about that type of thing. So if you guys would like my opinion on Dimension Dragons or Great Nature and Premium or Standard, which one did it top in Premium? I don't know. If you guys want my opinions on any of that stuff, if you want to know what deck in Weiss Schwarz I think is great, I'll tell you right now the answer is none. But hey, continue the conversation, yeah?
Yeah. You don't even like the Ninja Batman that they were going to be releasing for it?
The what now?
Yeah, Weiss is going to be releasing the Ninja Batman Weiss cards. You didn't know that? You should keep up with that, man. Great Nature was in Standard, by the way. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. Join our Discord so you can continue this little mini debate, just conversating, whatever you'd like to do with it. Check out our shop. All links are in the description down below. And above all else, stay classy, y'all.
Thanks for listening to TCG Buzz. New episodes can be found on tcgbuzz.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For box openings, deck profiles, and more, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.